Amen. So when I began to do this research on another idea, I stumbled into the Hebrew word congregation. And there was a writer who, I don't have his name right now, but I will give some of the credit to him. He says in his writings, he said the word church doesn't belong in the Bible. I said, oh, here we go. Another person, amen, who's just crazy. Because sometimes folk can get, really too specific in your idea and say, does it really mean all of that you got to deal with? Leave the word church alone. Amen. Folk got names with church in it. I ain't messing with the word church. Amen. Even in the Bible, the word church seems to be plentiful. But he made the case, he said what happened was that when King James was authorizing the translation of the King James Bible, he put out 13 edicts, and one such edict was that the word congregation, which meant assembly in the Greek, would now be known as church. And he made it an order that if you're going to translate this 1511 book and you're going to pass it out to the masses, I want everywhere where the word congregation or assembly shows up, I want it for the most part to be the word church. The word church, by definition, means any place, any building where religion is practiced. It could be for, amen, demons and Satanists. It could be for religious believers. It could be for those, amen, in the Jewish heritage. But you notice they don't call that place a church. They call it a synagogue. Amen. But you can use that because that's a building where religious stuff takes place, where folk talk and pray. Amen. Whether it be to God or the devil. Amen. Satan has a church, y'all. Amen. They just had service on Friday night around 12 midnight. They got together, amen, in a specific place, and they had satanic church. Amen. And so when you begin to look at it like that, you begin to say, does this make sense to me? Well, it even goes deeper because he says the word congregation or assembly, which means the out-called group, implies several things. It comes from the concept assembly, which means to call out. To call out of. Come on, say to call out of. Amen. The idea is to bring you out of something. But the other part of that Hebrew word is not just to be called out of a gathering, to separate yourself from the people, but it means to call out from the people so you can separate yourself from yourself. Amen. Because as a result of being with the people, you got some things going on in you that ain't correct. And if you're going to meet God, you got to come out from among them and be ye what? Yeah, amen. Notice come out from among them and be ye what? Amen. That's a dual term, not just separated from them, but separated from yourself. Amen. If you're going to be a part of God's kingdom, if you're going to carry God's agenda, the first thing you got to know is what is the process of me becoming qualified. So with that said, that's how important this word is initially, because it says to us that I am called out from among my inheritance. I'm called out like Abraham. Abraham is a prime example of being called out. The Bible said that God called Abraham, and Abraham left his kindred and left his nation because he had grown up in a house where idol worship was the order of the day. Amen. Abram's dad was an idol maker.